You know how the ultra-durable cables used in suspension bridges or elevators are made. Elevator cables are usually made from high-carbon steel or alloy steel, with a structure consisting of multiple strands twisted together around a central core. The strand structure is a key factor that determines the cable's strength, flexibility, and load-bearing capacity. One of the most common examples is a twisted strand structure used in electrical cables, such as braided aluminum or copper wires, which enhances both flexibility and electrical conductivity. So today, I'm going to share with you how to make a tool that can create a twisted strand structure. Once I've finished marking and outlining the shape on the foam board, I'll carefully trim away the excess with a utility knife to bring the design to life. Additionally, you can also use pliers to snip off any extra parts. By trimming off the extra bits, I'll make sure the edges look sharp and professional. Next, I'll grab the drill and carefully bore a hole straight to the center. This part is key to the whole structure. Now I'm going to mark 3 evenly spaced points on this piece of cardboard to guide the next steps. I'll carefully drill 3 small holes at the marked points. Making sure they're perfectly sized with screws to fit snugly. Here are the 3 eye screws I prepared. Let's go ahead and screw them in one by one. Now I'm going to lock it all in with some super glue to make sure it stays firmly in place. Here I have a long bolt, a few nuts, and some washers. Now I'll show you how to assemble them properly. Can you imagine how it's all going to come together and work? Now I'm going to prepare a piece of wood and another eye screw. I'm going to drill a hole in the piece of wood to insert this screw. Alright, let's get another piece of wood ready for what's coming next. This will be used to hold the metal bearing in place, just like you see here. Be sure to position the hook so it's pointing upward, just like this. The size of this wood doesn't need to be exact, just roughly the same as the first piece will do. Now I'm going to lock it in place with a mix of baking soda and super glue. It forms a strong, fast-setting bond. Using baking soda with super glue speeds up the curing process. It makes the bond much tougher and more durable. With all the pieces prepared, it's time to bring everything together into the final build. Get a bigger wooden piece. That'll be our base to hold everything steady. Let's lock it in with this L-shaped support to keep everything nice and steady. Now I'll screw it into the base using a couple of medium-sized screws. I'll make sure they're tightened firmly so the whole structure stays solid and doesn't wobble. Once the screws are in, I'll give it a little shake to make sure everything is secure. If there's any wobble, I'll tighten the screws a bit more or adjust the position until it's perfectly stable. Alright, let's do the same thing for the part with the metal bearing. Attach it just like we did earlier. I'll hook this part to the drill, and when I power it on, it'll do the twisting for me. The metal bearing acts as a stabilizer, keeping the part steady and stopping it from moving around while the drill spins. I'll place something underneath the drill to make it easier to hold. Here's a long piece of wire I prepared. Let's go ahead and cut it into 3 smaller pieces for the next step. All right, time to hook the wires onto the twisting tool and get everything in position. Now I'll attach the wires to the twisting tool, making sure to secure the ends tightly, either by bending them through the eye screws or wrapping them firmly, so they won't slip out while twisting. All right, time to turn on the drill. Watch how the wires start spinning and twisting into one solid strand. Just make sure to go slow at first so everything stays controlled. Now that the twisting's done, let's take a look. Yep, the wire looks nicely twisted, firm, and even all the way through. If anything seems loose, I can always give it one more spin. Twisted wire like this has all kinds of practical uses in daily life. You can use it for bundling or tying things together securely, making DIY tools or supports, or even for simple repairs around the house or garden. Because it's stronger and more flexible than a single wire, it's perfect for hanging objects, reinforcing weak spots, or crafting sturdy handmade items. It's a small tool, but once you have it, you'll find tons of ways to use twisted wire, from organizing cables to making decorative pieces, or even small mechanical parts. And there we have it. A simple yet incredibly useful wire twisting tool, made from just a few basic materials and a bit of hands-on effort. With this, you can create strong, neatly twisted wires for a variety of everyday uses. I hope this video inspires you to try making your own and explore how it can help in your DIY projects. Thanks for watching.